Curiosity Stream, we've walked with dinosaurs. We've explored our prehistoric planet, and we were always told the same story. Extinction came from the sky. But what if dinosaurs survived? Amazing Dino World 2. Watch it now on Curiosity Stream. With monthly, annual, and bundle plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
My name's Terry Lynch. I'm with Oregon Ufology. I found myself searching for a passageway one day. And that passageway leads right across the complete section of the Cascades, which I'm sitting in front of at the moment. On top of one peak. I want to make sure that everybody sees the type of things that we find in the process of research for ufology. I have located a couple that's sitting here on the top of Blind Peak. She's facing south. He's facing north.
The Middle, Cascadia Guides, a Let's production, in conjunction with Alien Strand Films.
Alien Strand Podcast.
It was scary myself.
It was scary because you saw something yourself?
Yes. I saw a little object hovering. It was quite big actually, and then there was little ones all around it. We saw something silver, and then we quickly ran to the logs, and we saw a silver thing, and we saw a man standing next to it.
This happened. I'm just skeptical about the abduction part of the story. To that extent, it wasn't like a visceral reality experience. It wasn't like a true memory. And that's what I had trouble with for years and years and years. Certainly, I shared the experience with the rest of the guys, and they might take that as remembering a real experience, but it's not. The encounter is real. I know that.
Alien Strand Podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma, and welcome to today's show. Today, we're going to be talking about Bloodline. So if you listen to our podcast, it was about 25 minutes before this one. I was kind of bringing you guys in on what's about to happen here. So this is going to be a pre-recorded podcast, right? It was on an actual YouTube video. It was live on Facebook. It was live on X. I mean, we were live all over the place. We were live on Quantum Enlightenment, The Hidden Truth About Everything Unusual, Extraterrestrial Strange Happenings Group, YouTube, Twitch, and X. We were live on all those platforms when we did this podcast. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, because you're hearing the past part of it. But I'm just kind of bringing you guys in because I want you to understand what Miss Karen Pratt and I were talking about when we were doing the interview with her and the things that were happening now. So I know that you guys listen to the podcast. We're on 26, 27 platforms all over the world. We're global, man. So you can listen to us everywhere. You can find it on Alexa, on your iPhone apps. You can find it on Spreaker, Spotify, CastBox, you name it, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. So, and, give us a thumbs up. So don't forget to catch our movie, The Middle. Check it out. But one reason I'm bringing you guys in is because I want you to listen to this podcast. It's a very important one. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on YouTube. Now, don't forget, go to our YouTube channel. It's a brand new YouTube channel that we have. We're trying to pick up subscribers right now. And a lot of these podcasts, we're actually doing audio and video. So we've been doing the video first. Then we throw them out on audio, okay? So it's for the folks that, are like truck drivers or out in the busy blue-collar field, where they don't have time to watch a video. They just, can listen while you drive. It's pretty careful. Be careful on the road if you guys are listening. If you guys like listening to our podcast late at night, hey, man, thank you for that. We try to give a lot of insights to you guys while you're listening and driving, especially on those long trips, even on your long flight. Get on the flight, get on your app, listen to our podcast, and that way you can just kick back, enjoy. If you got questions, you can always send us some questionnaires to any of our platforms, and we'll answer you as soon as we can. Okay, so this is the podcast you're about to listen to. Was with Miss Karen Pratt and myself. It was a great podcast. We talked about a lot of things that were happening with her there in the UK. Okay, so remember, this is a pre-recorded podcast. Everything that I put on our podcast here and on our video, you'll see it on the description below. If you click on the comments or anything below on any of the information, you'll see all the links to everything, okay? So just kind of remember that, and let's just go ahead and start the podcast so you guys can start listening to it and stop listening to me ramble just for a minute, because you're going to hear me talk a little bit more when we start up again, okay? So here we go. This is a pre-recorded. Hope you guys enjoy it. Give us a thumbs up after this podcast, if you want to hear more just like this. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Ledesma, and welcome to today's show. Yeah, we made it. It's Friday. Woohoo! So, it's going to be a really, really good podcast today. I just can't contain myself, right? Because I want to make sure that we're able to get all the information to you guys, and we're live on 8 platforms right now. So I'm going to read those out to you. We're Alien Strand Podcast. We're live. We're live on A.S.D.P, Alien Strand Disclosure Project page. We're live on Quantum Enlightenment. If you're watching, thank you. And also we're live on The Hidden Truth About Everything Unusual. We're live on Extraterrestrial Strange Happenings Group. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Twitch. Man, we got a whole bunch, right? Why? It's because people wanted to see more of this, right? And they wanted to see more, and they wanted to hear more of the information that's happening out there to folks like Karen, right? But before we bring her on, I just want to mention to you guys, don't forget, catch us on Alien Strand. They're on Patreon. You can check it out for free. We have a few free episodes. You can just kind of follow us there if you want to. And then we have one that's $5 a month. There's going to be extra stuff that you don't see on any of these platforms, all right? Be sure to check that out. And hit us a like and subscribe and all that good stuff that comes along with it, right? So tonight's not upcoming, but it's actually tonight. It's going to be a Bloodline. This is what we called it with Miss Karen Pratt. All right. Child abductee. Well, the contactee, actually. So because, she had a lot of, contact, as a child with these extraterrestrials, and she wants to talk about it. We have photos from her. We have videos from her that you guys need to see, man. This is a must. You got to check this out. So if you guys can see us on your platforms, you can comment, anything like that. I'll throw your comments on the screen. You want to ask a question, I'll throw those on there as well. All right. Don't forget, you can catch The Middle on Amazon Prime. Go check that out. It's $2.99 on there. It's our documentary. So if you type in The Middle Cascadia Guides, you'll see it, right? If you do The Middle, you'll get Malcolm in the Middle. Come on, you don't want that. You want to see this one because this is a great teaching tool, right? So we want to make sure that you guys watch this film. And if you do, give us a thumbs up. Check us out. And if you have a Roku TV, TCL Entertainment, they just threw us on there. Tubi TV, those are for free. Going to have some commercials in there, but it's okay. I mean, you can either do Amazon Prime, no commercials, $2.99, or commercials for free. Hey, it's a give and take. But make sure you give us a thumbs up on the film, because it's getting out to a bunch of countries all over the world. We're global, man. That's why we're called A.S.D.P Global, because our documentary is all over, and it's a learning tool, and it's something that Terry found on top of Paulina Peak. So you have to see this. It's an amazing geoglyph. 8,000 feet above sea level what was uncovered up there, right? So you need to see this film in order to know what I'm talking about. Now, don't forget the middle two. We're in production of that. In the editing stages for episode 1. So we're going to get that going. It's going to have 3 episodes total. And then the film will probably come out in November and December. Be looking out for this film on Amazon Prime Video first. And then maybe 2 months later, it'll start coming out on other channels. All right. So just make sure you catch it there. I know you guys are excited as much as I am. Don't forget. Alien Strand Disclosure Project. You can follow us on X. You can follow us on Facebook. If this is a private group, so if you guys want to join, just type it in, Alien Strand Disclosure Project, and you'll see it there. And go ahead, fill in the questionnaire, fill it all in. Because if you just answer, I agree, forget it. You're not going in. So make sure you type it all up, all the questions, answer them, and we'll get you in. If you want to be a learning ufologist, or you just want to see how, we're catching these extraterrestrials and crafts and UFOs in the sky, we teach you how to do this on this page. No other page does this but ours. You know why? Because we're global. We're here to help you. We're here to help everybody as well. All right. So, I love to talk, and I don't know if you know this, but sometimes I say, I've caught myself saying that over and over. I can't help it, man. It's just, it's like when you go to school, right? And you're in front of your teacher, whoever's there, they know everything that they're trying to teach you, and they tell you, come on, and that's me. I can't help it. It's like a tick or something, but you know what? Without further ado, let's go ahead and get Miss Karen Pratt. She's going to tell her story, okay, from the very beginning. And let's just, listen to her story. And then we're going to show her videos. We're going to show her photos. And then, let's go ahead and join. And hope you guys enjoy this podcast as much as I will. Okay, here we go.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes. So I rambled enough. Because I love doing this. I just love doing it. So you reached out to me. I know you saw one of the podcasts that we did. I think with who was it? Ms. Bodie, right? You saw that one with.
With Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie Bodie, and then you kind of said, well, I want to tell my story as well. I know you've been holding it in. I don't know if you've told many people out there, but today is the day. Today is the day to do it, and then you have a little bit of clarity after we do this. So tell the audience out there from the very beginning, how this all started and how it unfolded for you from the very, very beginning.
Okay, well, my name's Karen Pratt. I live in the south of England in a little town called Farnham. Originally, I was from a bigger town in Haslemere, which was about half an hour away from where I live now. And I suppose really it started from a young age, from about 3. I noticed that things were different. So I could see things that other people couldn't see. So it's quite hard to explain at such a young age what you're seeing and what's going on.
Right.
But when you try to talk to people about the things that you see, they just can't fathom it if they've never experienced it themselves.
Right. Well, especially at a young age like that, right? I mean, you're 3 years old, right? And you're starting to see things that other people can't. And of course, you remember these things, right?
Yeah. I mean, as a young person, because a lot of people talk about ghosts, I used to think that they were ghosts that I was seeing. You could smell, there's certain smells that you could smell, things that you could see. I could see a lot of sparkles, which is what I see when I see them now. Right. But I couldn't explain it from a young age, what was happening to me.
Right. So how long did this last for you, as far as did you go through a period of where it happened, you were seeing strange things? Now what is it exactly you were seeing? Just kind of like ghost images, things like that?
Yeah, literally, it was like ghosts. I would see a lot of figures, faces. I would hear voices, it would almost be like a whisper in the ear kind of thing going on. But I know that ghosts and aliens are closely linked, and it does make you wonder, doesn't it? What's the connection between ghosts and aliens?
And I always talk about that because it's like I every person I talk to, it's like there's a connection, like you're talking about tonight. That it's a possible. What you're seeing is it a ghost or is it an extraterrestrial? What is exactly are we looking at? Are they in the same realm? Right? Is that what you're going through?
Dimensional, possibly.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
that's what I think.
So, and then after the age of 3, how did anything come to you in a larger form, anything like that later on?
It was more, as I got older and into my teens, it was more like the kind of gifts that I had. So being able to have premonitions, sense of a feeling of something, a presence. So that became more in tuned in my kind of later teens, early 20s. And
did you ever try to figure it out? Why is this happening to me in a sense?
I often asked the question, tried to speak to people. A lot of them said, well, it's either ghosts or they just didn't believe me. So you kind of end up not saying anything to anyone and keeping it to yourselves.
Right. Now, and then through your teenage years, was anything strange happening as far as your premonitions? You were saying you were getting sort of kind of premonitions, right? Like you knew something was going to happen before it happened, right? Did you think it was some kind of, I'm having deja vu, or is it like, well, wait a minute, I'm starting to see this more and more?
Well, I often used to get deja vus, thinking I've been in this place before. And that's when I started reading about reincarnation. Is that linked to that? With the premonitions, for example, my ex-husband, I had a premonition that he was going to be in a car accident. And I told him that morning, I said, whatever you do, don't go in the car. Anyway, he didn't listen to me, got in the car, and he was in a 6-car pileup.
Oh, no.
A couple of hours later. Thankfully, he was okay.
Okay.
But it's things like that I would have quite often as a child.
Wow. And then, of course, later on when you were married and stuff. So, Now, I know you and I talked a little bit through Instant Messenger, and you were saying that, that possibly you thought that it was what was happening to you was maybe generational, like possibly in your bloodline, like maybe somebody within your grandparents or anybody before you was possibly having the same thing.
Yeah, in regards to my family, I know my mum had seen a UFO when she was driving back from near Farnham Way back to Hazlemere, and there was a UFO flying above her car. Anyway, she tried to speak to my dad about it, and he just laughed it off as if it was a joke, because it's back in the 70s. It wasn't taken seriously back then. But she vows that that's what she saw. She saw a craft hovering above her car. And then obviously with my grandparents, my nan had the gift of seeing as well. So yeah, I honestly think it's linked way back through the bloodline.
Exactly. Well, and then, of course, we all saw the movie Hero, Fire in the Sky. And, what he went through was very traumatic. And sometimes people get abducted without even knowing it, because they wiped your mind. They kind of put you in a paralysis kind of state. So what he went through was horrible. But, there's times the only reason I put this picture up, because I wanted to show people that sometimes people do get abducted and they don't know, like as far as your grandparents, anybody throughout the years. And back then they're not going to say anything, they're not going to, they're not even going to remember, even if they have some kind of, let's just say, memories that come back, right? Little by little. Sometimes it does happen to folks that memories start coming back little by little. Now, I always talked about how a lot of extraterrestrials, when you don't know it as well, they take DNA and they abduct a lot of females. Now, do you ever think that you were possibly maybe abducted of some sort?
I mean, it's a hard one because obviously I don't remember if anything did happen, but there are signs would indicate that that's a possibility. Loss of time, marks on the body, things like that would indicate that might be a possibility that happened. And obviously I can't, without perhaps hypnosis regression, to see, and obviously if memories come back,
right,
that helps as well.
Right.
But you do, I mean, sometimes I get, with my visions, I get insights where they might show me something, and things like that. And
Right.
and it's like, but then sometimes you think, well, is that a dream? Is that a vision? I mean, is it real? You often question these things that you see, but
you kind of think, okay, is my mind playing tricks on me, or am I seeing something that I'm not supposed to be, or actually am I seeing something, because I always talk about people that mock folks that who saw a ghost or who saw an extraterrestrial, and a lot of people have this feeling like, if I can't touch it, then it's not real, right? They have this in their minds. I'm not saying you, but it's sometimes you try to wrap your mind around what you're looking at, and there could be an extraterrestrial right in front of you taking pictures, photos. People are going to tell you it's not real.
Yeah.
So after a lot of these things were happening to you, now did you start noticing like extraterrestrial craft up in the sky, anything like that?
I mean, I've always noticed when I've looked up in the sky that, you think that doesn't look like a star. It's not moving like a star. It's going from the left, then straight up, and then turning right, doing maneuvers that you wouldn't normally see. I mean, I'm always looking at the sky. I can see when there's a satellite, a meteor shower. You can tell the difference between what is normally seen in the sky and what is not normal.
Right. Especially because the maneuvers, the kind of maneuvers that are happening up in the sky. Now, you sent me a few pictures, and I'm going to show this right now. These are a few that you sent me, and you can just kind of tell the folks out there exactly what we're looking at. I believe you caught these at night. Let's go ahead and post those up now.
Yes. So the one on the left, that was like a purpley orb, but that was quite low down. I could see it from my back garden, and it was pulsating.
Okay.
But obviously on a closer inspection, you can see that that's not a star. I don't know what that is. It could be a craft. It looks like a craft though, doesn't it? Coming out.
It does.
Of a ball.
Is that the video you sent me of that?
Yes. The little purple ball orb pulsating.
Okay. So, and how about the one on the right? Are these three the same craft?
They're the same craft, but obviously with the filters. So the one on the left is the original, so what it looks like. Okay. And then obviously with the filters, I mean, if you can scan in, I don't know if you can zoom in, you can see something within the left side. Obviously when I saw it, I could see what was like red lights, and it was large. I mean, on scale, it was probably about 10 miles across. Wow. So it was pretty huge.
Wow. And these are great. To us, sometimes we think, oh, well, it's a star. You zoomed in too close. But these things were actually like hovering right there, right?
That's right. Yeah. Quite low down as well.
Really? About how low were they from the ground?
Oh, I'd probably say.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Less than half a mile up, which is pretty low for such a large craft.
Yeah, exactly.
But the strange thing is, though, a lot of the things that I see, other people aren't able to see. And I find that a lot with other people that I speak to, is that we tend to see things that a lot of people don't.
Exactly. And I talk about that as well to everyone, even my guests, because sometimes these crafts or whatever biological entity that's inside of them, the pilot that's inside of these things, can actually manifest itself only to you. Right. And that's what we're starting to notice that more and more every guest that I get on, they say the exact same thing. Now, this is how I know that you're not crazy or anything like that, because, just look what's on screen. You're catching these actually broken down by Mr. Anibal Quiñones Caballero. He's our analysis guy, and you met Anibal, right? And he started helping you through this.
That's right. A couple of years ago, I met Annabelle, and he's been helping me all the way through.
Right on.
Helping each other.
I love that guy. He's the master of all. So let's go ahead and just show that video. I think I have it right here. So of what that craft was looking like to you as you were filming it. Here we go. It's a short video. Here we go.
See, a lot of people would think that was a star.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's not. You can see something around it, kind of going round and round, like the plasma. It looks like plasma.
Yeah,
going around like that. That is crazy. Now, that's the one that was, you said, about 100 feet or a mile.
Yeah. Well, that one was probably less than half a mile. That was quite close, really. It was about, because I live in terraced houses, it was a couple of rows along and a bit higher up. So it wasn't actually that far away.
Wow. And that's what caught your attention, was just that blinking light or just
it's like I sense things before they show up, and then I start seeing like sparkles in the sky. It's hard to explain, but when I see them, I'm always guaranteed to see a craft, alien, or anything to do on that side. Wow. When I see the sparkles, I see.
There's a user that says, I've seen similar lights here in San Antonio. Oh, I know who that is. That's Ryan Keaton. A lot of these, you got to remember, it's going to say Facebook user that comes up on screen, but actually, I think you have to click something if you're being a part of this, and it'll show your name somehow. So if you guys are doing that, kind of put your name, if you can, Ryan, or whatever you want to do, just until we get that little figured out. But yeah, I mean, they're saying, wow, it's cool. It's weird looking. Anibal's right there. He's talking. He says, also, there's other small lights around it that we're not seeing visually, right? And you really have to zoom into that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to the unseen. A lot of things that people can't see, we can pick up with the filters. And they're always in our skies, always around us. But most people never see them.
Now, talking about the filters, I know you use them as well. How long did you, before you started using filters in order to... I know Anibal probably pointed you the way to that. Did he as far as the filters, or you just kind of found it somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's helped me with some sites that I can use to do that. It just takes a lot of practice and, getting used to the filters and knowing what you're looking for, looking for the EMF in there.
Yes.
I like to magnify in as well so I can get more detail.
Yes, and it's like me and Terry Lynch always say something. Sometimes you can see with the naked eye. Depends. If it's during the day. At night, you're not going to see it unless you use those filters, right? So, I'm going to show this other photos that you have as well. So just kind of give us a rundown on these photos.
Okay, yeah, that one. That at first it looked like a star, but then obviously on closer inspection, that's not some star, but it could be some anomaly. But it is very unusual in its appearance.
I mean, and it looks like a clear sky. Like there's a clear sky up there, and is this the only thing you were seeing up there in that skyline when you took that photo?
Yes, because that was during the daytime.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So the one on the right is the original,
right?
So you can see.
And then you threw the filters on there. Now somebody's asking there, what kind of filters do you use do you use it on your phone? Do you have like an Android or an iPhone, so that way you know?
I've got an Android phone. There's some apps you can download. I tend to go on Google on a site called Forensically Beta. That's pretty good. You can magnify, you can use filters, you can check to see if a picture's cloned. It's quite useful tool to have.
Wow. Yeah, I saw them on your photos. I cropped them out a little bit to try to get the photo in just a little bit more. And that it's called Forensic. Is that what you said?
Forensically Beta. You can find it on Google.
On Google.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some great information, for people to are able to catch that. Now, I'm going to show another video real quick before we go to a commercial break. All right. So, kind of tell us about this video. It looked like something that was pulsating at night. It's a night photo, a video. Do you remember what day this was? Or
I'll have a look at the video.
Well, here we go. I'm going to put it on for you. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so hold on, I'm going to check the date on that one. So that was on the 18th of June in 2023. So that was outside the front of my house. It was kind of at least probably about 3 miles away. Quite low though in the sky, but about 3 miles away. It looked like a really bright star, but I don't know, I was getting a feeling that this wasn't a normal star. It's that feeling that you get,
right?
Like when you see the sparkles. So obviously when I filmed it, and then I got Annabelle to have a look at it, to zoom in.
And let's show the analyzed footage of Annabelle, and then you're gonna be able to see it really good. Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna show it right now. Well, so you can tell that there's a saucer-shaped craft there, and there's a sphere. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this on a lot of old photos, vintage photos of UFOs or UAPs, whatever anybody wants to call them now. That every time you see a large ship like that, you're always going to see a sphere next to it. Now, this is how you know that it's a real craft. You're always going to see this together. Usually when there's one, sometimes you'll think of it as CGI and on a video or anything like that, but there's always going to be a sphere next to it. And me personally, I just think it's some kind of, tracking, and, it's just checking around it, just to make sure that there, nothing tries to bother the craft itself that they use it for. And that's exactly what you have in the video. You can actually see it with the analyzation that Annabelle got on there. That's amazing.
That's right, yeah. And you can see it coming through the hole. It's amazing. It makes you wonder, is it a portal, a wormhole? I mean, what could that possibly be where it's coming through?
Now, Have you ever, I don't know how close you are to your neighbors or folks around you. Have you ever asked anyone, hey man, do you see these things up in the sky?
Unfortunately, no, I don't really talk to my neighbours. I've got quite a lot of neighbours. I don't talk to them.
Well, I guess it's not like the 1950s, you had to talk to your neighbors, but...
I am surprised they've never asked me because I'm always out there filming, so wondering what I'm doing.
I wonder what you're filming, right? They're like, hey, what's going on?
I have to be careful.
I know, right? But I mean, it's people are saying they're great videos. Thank you for the details there about the software. They're saying thank you so much for that. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and just break real quick for a 30-second commercial, okay? And then we'll come back in about 30 seconds. Is that all right?
Yeah, no worries.
Here we go. All right. Well, that's all my video work. So that's my company. If you guys need anything from me, actually, I got a music video coming out October 1st. So I'm going to be pulling that out pretty soon here on all our platforms. But thank you for that, for sticking around and watching that real quick. So let's get back to you, Karen. So, now this is the good stuff. Now, when you started getting these feelings of possible extraterrestrial entities, right? Did you ever think that you were going to see these things actually visually or through your filters? Did you think this was going to happen to you?
Kind of. It's like a feeling that I kind of know when they're around, and it was like inevitably at some point they're going to show themselves. Right. But obviously seeing them on my footage is a bit of a shocker when you're looking.
Yeah, I remember seeing the video that you had posted up on one of the sites, and that's when I got in touch with you actually, because I didn't understand what I was seeing at first, and then when you threw out the actual stills, and then the analyzation of the stills, and then what Anibal did in the video as well, or did you do that? I don't know if he did or you did.
Anibal did the video, and I on Forensically Beta did the stills, so they were magnified in.
That was a great job on the stills, because with those stills, I was able to make out exactly what we were looking at. Now, for the people that are intrigued out there that are watching the show tonight, thank you for watching the show tonight. This is a great show and it's very informative. Now, let's show that video, right? And this is exactly what you were. Now, kind of give us a breakdown on that video of the extraterrestrial in the window. What time was this? When did it happen exactly?
So with regards to, I don't know if I've got the date down on that one. Hold on. I think that's the 18th of June, 2023. Okay. I was basically looking out my front window because I've got my curtains open at night time. I'm always often looking outside, trying to see if I can see any crafts flying by. I was seeing these strange lights dancing around each other, moving from left to right. So obviously it wasn't a plane. It was quite low down. Those kind of things catch your eyes. You think, well, is that a drone? What's going on here? So I got my camera out started filming. And obviously looking back on the video, because I always like to look back and see if I can see more details, that's when I saw the face looking back. But I didn't see it with my eyes, but obviously I knew that something was there because I could sense it. So
So when I show the video, you guys that are watching in video land right now, audio you can't see it, but we'll put the links to it. But anyway, when you're looking at the video, take a look a little bit to the left. You'll start seeing blinking lights in the very background. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll see it. But the actual entity is on the right side of the window. But so here it goes. I'm going to show it to you.
This is my life's work too, Daniel. So you're working for the government? What? Daniel!
I'm sorry.
We're just going to disappear again, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, you could see it blinking. Now, you guys, if it was hard for you to see, now I'm going to show the breakdown of the analysis video that Anibal did. Okay, so take a look at this again through analysis.
This is my life's work too, Daniel. So you're working for the government? What? Daniel!
I'm sorry.
We're just going to disappear again, aren't we?
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And you can kind of make that out on the right side. You know, the face is kind of long. It looks elongated, large head on top. But you couldn't see that with your naked eye, right?
No. And that's what's scary. You can't see it.
Wow. Okay. So if you guys it was hard for you to see. Now I'm going to show you what she did on that Google application. That way you can see exactly what was there. Now look at that.
You can see the face. You can see the head.
You can see the face. You can see the head, and it's looking right at you through the window. I'm going to blow it up.
That's quite haunting looking.
Yeah, and that to tell you the truth, that's spooky. That's kind
really. When I saw that, my jaw just dropped. I was like, "Oh my god, what is that?"
It's like the photo on the left. It shows more of the eye, the nose, a kind of a elongated head. Kind of looking through the window. The one on the right, you can see it a little bit better. It gives you a little bit more definition in a sense, but kind of tony. But I mean, it's when you saw this after you broke it down, what were your feelings afterwards? Like after you saw something like that?
Kind of in awe, really. I mean, but also it's a little bit scary thinking something like that is watching you and you're not aware of it. It's very disturbing.
Wow. Yeah, and it can be disturbing. But when you don't understand what you're seeing and what other people, I mean, after you posted this, what was the response that you got from this photo?
A lot of people were like, whoa, what is that? Is that a ghost? Is it an alien? I mean, at first I thought it could be a ghost, but then when I kind of looked closer, the head shape is bigger.
Right.
And it is leaning more towards extraterrestrial.
It
But,
does.
yeah.
It does. To me, I'm going to lean more that way. Like you said, towards extraterrestrial. Only because the eye. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's kind of strange that, I mean, you're filming the window, right? But you can't see it. You can't see it with the naked eye. And that's the good thing about filters. Now, if anybody's new watching today's show, we always teach about filters. Filters is very, very important when you're watching, when things are happening around you, because there's things that you can't see with the naked eye, right? This is a great example of what you can't see with the naked eye. And it took the filters in order to see this, just like, spirits and ghosts and things like that. Sometimes you can see them better when you break them down in this kind of, analysis as well. So,
that's right.
Have you gotten any more attention from that photo, or did it just kind of die down a little bit, or?
Kind of died down, but I mean, just generally now on Facebook, the whole, subject, on UFOs seems to have gone very quiet at the moment. So it's it's frustrating because there's so many people got stories to share, but yet no one seems to be, reporting it.
They're saying, they're out there watching, saying, "Wow, Karen, that's a great capture," and they're saying the eyes are human looking, and everybody's just great capture. I don't know. When I first saw it, it just blew me away. Now, I talked about the podcast before this, and I said, that video is actually going to be on our movie, because I want people to see this, and I want them to see the breakdown of this and how we can't see things with the naked eye. And it needs to be shown, because not just here on this platform on podcast, but when the movie comes out, it's all over the world in different countries, right? So we get to see it. They get to see it in different places. And, people get to understand exactly what you're going through, as a person I say you have a gift in a sense, to where they're like, okay, they're attracted to you somehow, right? And it's a possible bloodline thing, and I'm just thinking it's a possible bloodline.
Well, see, I'm negative blood, and there's a lot of abductees. There's a pattern that negative blood is, majority of the abductees.
RH negative? Are you RH negative? Or
RH negative.
Okay, there we go. So there's another. You get another notch on that one, because that's exactly what it is. They've already put that together. Even Hynek put that together. That if you have RH negative blood, that you're more prone to be abducted, or you have a lot of visitations throughout your life. Now, it's a possibility that I've always said this. As they take this is the schematic of it. They tend to take more females than males, only because of what their agenda is, and it's to replicate themselves in a different way, right? Because they have no organs, no sexual organs. In other words, what I'm trying to say, they can't duplicate. They can't do anything like that. Only the original ones, and they're old. They're getting old. That's what they say. The tall grays can live up to 600 years old, and the smaller little grays, they're just clones. That's all they are. They're just the workers. They're little bees, right? Busy little bees, like they are. But other than now, when you got those marks on your body, were they any kind of, did it have any kind of dimensional shape on them or anything like that?
No, it was 2 marks. They just suddenly appeared. But it was after I'd had some missing time. So I got Annabelle to check. And obviously we could detect the EMF within the marks I had on my arm. Yeah, I've had a few strange things where I've had like an energy ball come towards me, made all my hair stand up on end. I felt sick, passed out, and I remember I'd lost 45 minutes of time. So there's a lot of things like that kind of happens. So, there's no way I can prove it was an abduction, or it could be an interference in the energy field. You just don't know. But, it's things that I remember, and, it's not normal things that happen. It's unusual.
Right,
it's different.
Right. And I know that bloodline is very difficult. It's hard on a female, especially because my wife's at the same blood. She has a hard time with it as well. She only had to have one child through her lifetime, but only because of it. And my niece as well. So, and it's hard to have that bloodline, but when you're going through things like what you're going through, traumatic, episodes, to where you're feeling nauseous, you pass out, and then 45 minutes loss of time. How long ago did this happen to you when that episode happened?
That was last year in the summertime. Last year.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, the activity that I've noticed with them has increased in the last 2 years.
Right.
So it's almost on a daily basis now that I see things.
Okay.
Or experience things.
Now, I'm going to show another video. I think this is your last video, but I'm going to show this video of, I think you had your phone and you were looking through the TV screen, the mirrored image on it.
Oh, that's a window. So I was looking through my front window because I was seeing some strange, wisp, like a grey mist going back and forth. It was flying back and forth at the window in front of the lamppost. So I was filming it so you can see the reverse reflection of me from the film.
So I'm going to show the analyzed video of it, and then I'm going to show the photo that came out from it. Okay, so here's the analyzed video. Now, it's kind of hard to tell what you're seeing, but you're seeing actually the shape of her head, and then she's got the camera like this and kind of...
You can see the lamppost outside.
Right, you can see the lamppost. So after you broke it down into this analysis, you got a photo. Now, did you analyze this photo, or did Hannibal analyze it?
Hannibal analyzed this one because he noticed it first. He said, there's something behind you. But I could feel it. I knew there was something there, but I couldn't see it. But I was more distracted because it's what they do. It's like a distraction by the mist that was going back and forth in front of the lamppost. It was like a wisp moving back and forth, which obviously is not something you see.
But you can only see that through the mirrored image of the television, or just kind of when you're looking with your naked eye?
Not with the naked eye, through the mirrored image. And as you magnify in behind me, that's when you see the alien there.
And here we go. I'm going to show that photo.
So that's behind my left shoulder. So to the right on there.
Wow. Look at that. You can see it right there. And then he blew it up there for you on the right side of that the video. So, and that's hard to tell, but I mean, look at the eye. You can see the eye on it and everything. There's a facial feature as well. That's just kind of eerie. Did you get chills or did you feel any cold air around you? Anything like that?
Not so much cold air, but it's hard to explain, but I kind of can feel them whenever they're around. It's like a heavy feeling, like I don't know, it's hard to explain, like a heavy presence around you. It kind of makes your hair kind of go a bit on end, when you've got that feeling like in the pit of your stomach.
Yeah.
But I know there's something there, but I can't always see it, but I know. I mean, I've had other experiences where I've had tapping in the bedroom as I was recording the bedroom, where I could hear the tapping. I got Annabelle to check it, and on reviewing, you can see the sparkles that I normally see with my eyes, and then you see a face looking back at me, it's almost like they're tricksters, and they're good at hiding and copying and mimicking.
Anibal says, one thing that should be known, the energy is reflected on her and on her wherever she goes, and those who have been visited, he goes, but not visited, not visual to the naked eye. I think that's what he's trying to say. So what he's trying to say is that you're being followed everywhere you go by these things.
Yep. I mean, I can go on holiday and I'll see them wherever I go. They're there.
They're asking, what time did this happen?
Let me just check my notes, see if I got the timing down for that one. So, I haven't got the time down. That one was quite early in the evening. I think it was like 7:05 in the evening.
Okay. Yeah, it looked kind of dark outside when you were when you moved the camera on the original.
Yeah.
Footage. I'm sorry I didn't get the original footage on there, but I was just trying to see which one was best to show, because it's kind of hard to tell of what people are looking at out there. Now, do you ever think that, I ask this to all my guests, do you ever have that why me moment?
I know I did when I was younger. I often ask myself that, but I've always felt like I'm different, like I haven't fitted in, that feeling that a lot of people say, I don't feel like I'm from here, is the connection much deeper between me and them? And then it kind of poses a lot more questions that never stop.
Wow. So I guess somebody said, what is the face above the light on the lamppost? Huh. I didn't see that.
Oh, no, did I?
There must be another face there. I thought I saw something extra on there, but I guess maybe somebody could see it more than we can. But I mean, it's everybody always has that question, why me? Or has it come to the point in your life to where, okay, let me ask you this: does it bother you, or is it bothersome, or is it just kind of like a normal thing?
It used to bother me, obviously, because I didn't know what was going on. It freaked me out. And when you're younger, it's a lot more scarier. But as I've got older, I ask more questions. I mean, I've always felt like I've had a mission in my life that I need to achieve. And it feels like I'm getting there as I'm getting older. But yeah, no, I mean, sometimes I get that dreaded feeling and it doesn't feel comfortable. But mainly I just feel in awe about it. It's that wow kind of.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, I'd rather be helping other people going through it. That's why I'm a member of a lot of the groups on Facebook. Yeah. I'm admin on a few groups.
That's exactly what you're doing here today. You're helping a lot of people, because a lot of folks that are watching today from all these platforms, 8 platforms now, they're watching. A lot of them have experienced exactly the same thing that you have, and it is helping folks, because you wanted to tell your story, right? You wanted to get it out there to everybody. And, and then we always ask, why me? And everything like that. Like, why is this happening to me? And you said it's not as bothersome as it used to be. So, I mean, what is the intention, do you think, as far as like, I know some folks some folks do say, okay, I'm here on a mission. I'm here to tell you guys, it's going to be okay or whatever. But is your mission sort of like, we're kind of mixing in with the spiritual realm or an extraterrestrial realm? Is it?
I mean, for me, I believe there's good ones and there's bad ones. And, as you can see, I've experienced a lot of different types on a daily basis. They've all got different agendas, different ideas of what they want. But for me, it's more of a development on the spiritual side.
Right.
Finding that what is the meaning of life and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So someone asked, so you've never really felt threatened for your life. Have you ever felt threatened?
There's a few times, not so much threatened, but I can feel that I get a feeling in the pit of my stomach that makes me feel sick. And I don't know whether it's part of being an empath. If I can walk into a room, I can sense the different energies. Right. And then you get that fight or flight feeling, right. Get me out here. I don't feel comfortable. So I get that sometimes, but I've never felt to the point where I'm in fear. To be fair.
I've been there. I mean, I'm kind of like a scaredy cat, like they say, when it comes to ghosts, because I don't know, I've been in a dark room or like in a dark basement and somebody closes the door, you freak, right? Because it's totally dark. You can't see anything. And the first thing that comes to your mind is something's going to touch me on the shoulder, right? Something's going to touch me on the back. Something's going to push me, because you start thinking about these movies and all this crap, right? And it's not crap because it happens for real. It does happen for real. But it's the sense of you don't know what's happening around you, right? And you're trying to figure out, why or what's going on, It's
the fear of the unknown. I mean, the trouble is with me, I like to run towards danger, which is probably the worst thing I should do, really. But I tend to go towards it.
I guess because in other words, your fear level has diminished as far as what you're seeing, right?
Yeah. But I suppose that also comes down to what you believe in, spiritually as well. People have faith, some are spiritualists, all that kind of dynamic. So, for me, I'm pretty strong about what I believe in and in the afterlife and things like that. So it kind of fills me with confidence. I don't feel the fear where many might feel it.
So Paul, he's like one of your neighbors out there from the UK. I say he's a neighbor, but he lives in the UK. He's part of our A.S.D.P. So he's asking, he's just saying, as you get older, you seem to be less bothered by things that would have upset you at an earlier age. This is Paul. Thank you, Paul, for that. I appreciate that. And that's true. That's a true statement, of what happens, as you lose your fear later on in life, like you said, fear of the unknown. Somebody said on there, fear of the unknown. And that's exactly what it is, and like Marcia's saying here, I agree with her. I get nauseous and I was afraid until last year with hostiles. So I guess she's gone through what you're going through as well, and how do you tell folks? That's the thing. Without people telling you, or you saying, okay, I'm not crazy here. How do you tell folks what you're seeing to, let's just say, a normal family member or anything like that? Has anyone ever asked you about anything that maybe they're experiencing?
No, to be fair, my family don't really talk about, much like that. But, when I'm helping other people, I always think knowledge is power. If you've got knowledge, you're going to have less fear. So by helping to explain what's going on with people, it tends to take away a lot of the fear. Some people will run for the hills because it's just terrifying, which is completely understandable. Right. But everyone's different, and I'm just here to help all those who are going through the same.
Yeah, and there's a lot of you guys out there, that are experiencing, and that's why we have this show, to help people out there, to understand what they're seeing or feeling, or even if you can't see with the naked eye, like there's a few of them there. You had to take photos and videos. You're thinking, okay, something's there. I know something's there. I had to take a photo and a video, and it happens because, like you said, you get the eerie feeling, you get the goosebumps, you get all that
sparkles.
Good stuff. Yeah, the sparkles. You start seeing the sparkles on the side of your eye or something coming down. You're like, oh, wait a minute, what's there? And you have to, pull out your camera or video, whatever you have, and start recording, because, and I think that's the best thing you can do, because it shows folks that out there that don't understand, that you are seeing you are experiencing something there. Now, where you live in your home, before you moved there or when you moved there, did you ever have any experiences like that, thinking, okay, maybe it's a ghost, maybe somebody that lived here before passed away, or I'm experiencing something?
I mean, to be fair, I've even in my previous house, I moved here to this one about 11 years ago. And in the previous house, I could always feel what I thought was an old man, because he was always there around under the stairs, which was always creepy. But when I moved to this house that I'm in now, I used to see shadows moving up and down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And I could hear something mimic family members. So when my kids were at school, I could hear what I thought was my daughter calling me. I could hear her voice. Wow. And I'll come upstairs and there's nobody here because they're all at school. They're not even here.
Wow.
And then you get them kind of whispering in your ear. It's like I'll be asleep and you'd hear shouting in my ear and it'll wake me up.
Wow.
Things like that.
I get that too. Every once in a while I'll get those dreams that just kind of wake me up. Now, Anibal's asking, it's very important. Ask Karen about what she saw inside her home, like a spacecraft that was flying around that were not visible to the naked eye, but you can see, he could be seen inside her home like she was outside. Okay, explain to us what he's saying there.
Yeah, so basically I've had this, I don't know whether it's a portal or dimensional inside my house, and it's mainly been in my bedroom where when I'm recording, when I'm seeing the sparkles and I'm sensing it, on recording I could see an object move across, but it gives you the same energy as the crafts that you see outside, but obviously on a smaller size.
Right. And it's kind of hard to tell, right? I mean, at that point, what you're seeing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, there's so many different types. You got your watchers, your smaller crafts, the dimensional beings, crafts coming in dimensionally. There's so many different aspects, and trying to analyze and check these things. I mean, we're trying to break things down, find patterns. What energy is with what craft or what being. It's all about gathering the evidence, finding, the patterns in all of it.
Right. So, I mean, let me ask you this. When you experience this, is anybody around you that are experiencing those things too, or only you feel it to where you say, okay, I got to record something, and they kind of say, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly me that's experiencing it. I mean, there's times when family members have felt something, but they just brush it off. That's just,
right.
Exactly. Weird energy in the house. Well, I thought I saw something, or I thought I heard something, but I think I'm the only one that seems to be experiencing this on the level that I'm experiencing it. But I honestly think it's down to the connection. It's there's a connection that goes back through, like you said, through the bloodline.
Right.
It's almost like certain people are chosen for a certain reason. I mean, I don't know what that reason is. It could be for, hybrids, all sorts of reasons, that people speculate. But
Did you ever hear any stories about your history past, about your grandparents, great-grandparents, or anybody on any side of the bloodline that had experienced some like crazy stuff, or just have the paranormal, more paranormal around them? Or
I mean, I remember my nan used to see ghosts, like me. She was very in tuned. I do remember when she was in hospital and, the end of life stages, she knew what time they were coming. She said, I know what time they're coming, on what day. And she would often say she'd hear small children running around. She said, oh, make sure the children are quiet. There's no children in here, Nan.
Wow.
But, there's a lot of people say that small greys look like small children. I mean, could that be what she was seeing?
Exactly. I mean, and it's a possibility, or it's children, spirits of children, and we, like I said, we talked about it here. We talked about it before, that we think that these two entities are in the same dimension. They have to be, in order to, because it's hard to say that it's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't say, okay, it's the spirit is turning into this alien, and this alien is building this UFO, and this UFO we're seeing land on the ground. It's making marks. People are going into these crafts. They're being experimented on. And they take them, they bring them back. Some people don't come back. A ghost is not going to do that. It might harm you, right? It might scratch you or whatever. It'll throw a piece of paper on the floor or glass, but this is what separates this from extraterrestrial. And
did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And a spirit of some sort, even like demonic as well. If it was.
But I think, what I think? The people who are connected with them seem to be also connected with spirits, that they are in tune with both sides, both worlds or parallel worlds or dimensions, however you want to call it.
Right.
It's linked in that way that they might be on different planes, on different dimensions, but it can be, you can travel through both, through different kind of, if you think there's lots of layers, ghosts can be seen through the layers, through the veil, if you want to put it that way.
I've always talked about too, it's like, are we some kind of antenna transmitter of some sort, right? There's people that are special, right? That can actually transmit more than somebody else. Your aura, your energy of who you are, right? Maybe a part of your mind has actually opened up a little bit more and your aura is a lot stronger. Maybe you're a strong person, like, strong-minded, strong-willed, and these things, can actually, they can, it's just like an antenna of frequency. They go right towards you because it's like, oh, wait a minute, out of all these people, when they're going through, it's that person right there, because you have the brightest aura or the best energy or the best frequency. Let's just put it that way, right? Do you think that maybe that's how it could be?
Yeah, I've often said that. I feel like I'm an antenna that I'm picking up. It's like a radio. I'm picking up on certain wavelengths.
Yes. Yeah, and that's true, until you change to FM. Once you go to FM, it's just totally different. But I mean, it's crazy that just to even think like that or have conversations like that, and people just don't understand that people like yourself and myself and other folks that I know, a lot of people out there reach out to me and they have these experiences, right? And when I talk to them and I ask them questions, they're like, yes, exactly. That's what I'm going through. And it's because I've learned to familiarize myself with everything that's going in their lives, because a lot of things has happened to me as well. I'm not just a person that I'll talk host, anything like that. I go out there, I study ufology as well. I help break things down. I do use my, my ghost meters and all kinds of stuff. And, I look for energies, EMFs. So I'm not just a person that just doing this for the heck of it. I'm doing it because I love what I do. And I love trying to help people go through this, right? And help them them to help others, right? That's what we're trying to do.
It's like a conflict of interest because I'm got a scientific mind. I want to seek the truth. I question everything, but yet then I've got this spiritual side that's saying, hey, I'm here. You're not crazy, but you are crazy.
That's exactly what it is, And you're like, I'm confused here, man. What am I supposed to do? It's like, and it's exactly what you're feeling, right? I mean, we all feel that way sometimes. It's like, is this like go to the dark side or go to the light or whatever? What's happening here? And we don't know, but until you start experiencing these things, then you start breaking it down. Now, I'm going to ask you this real quick. When these things started happening to you, did you start finding an interest in science and ufology, things like that? Some kind of
I mean, I've always been into painting and art, so I've always kind of like studied, gone to college, things like that. And then I like reading scientific papers, and then I watch everything. Read everything. I mean, a lot of stuff is rubbish. You can just throw out the window. That's just, garbage. But other things you think, well, hold on, that actually has an element of possible truth to it. We need to do some more digging, and then you go down the rabbit hole, and then you go deeper.
Exactly. So we have a person out there that's commenting this. I can't see who you are, but it says, my mother witnessed a UFO back in 62 through 64. I was a small child. He says, now it's my husband, and I witnessed a UFO in our backyard hovering not far from him in 2022. So wow, that's kind of freaky, but I wish you could have got video or photo of that. That would have been nice to see, even if you have, send it to me. I want people to see that, and that's what we're trying to do here. Even if you're in a group or a Facebook group or any kind of group like that, please leave it open to share with folks or whatever you see. Like our page, I know it's not a public group, but we try to break down videos first and photos before we start sharing them out there. So, and we just like copy paste and throw them out there as soon as we find the answer to what it is. Sometimes we can't find all the answers, right? And how do you break things down to where it's like you're saying, man, I wish I had the answer to this. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It really is, because it's like, I mean, what would be great is if ufologists around the world can get together and analyze everything together and actually start finding the pieces, the missing pieces. We can't always get disclosure through our governments. So we've got to now come together and find a way to unite and find disclosure through the people. And I think it's a way we need to go. We need to move forward in a different way. I'm all up for helping with disclosure, for recording UFOs live. So if you see it, you sense it, you feel it, record it. I recommend that to everyone. If you see something you're not sure about, just record it, video it.
And that's why we're called citizen ufologists, or just citizens in general they want disclosure and they want to find out exactly what's out there, we always try to break things down together, and we love working with other folks, other ufologists. It's kind of hard, right? Have you ever seen like physics scientists together in one room? It's crazy because they're bumping heads on who's right and who's wrong, who's right and who's wrong. Now, us as ufologists, we're like, okay, come on, I'm going to show you this. What do you think? Well, it might be this, might be that. Okay, well, we can go with that, right? Whatever. You can keep an open mind. We always say keep an open mind, right? Because we're trying to figure it out. And then once we put it together, say, you know what? Yeah, that's a real one, or that's true. That's what it is. That's the difference of working together.
It's like I often say to Annabelle, I said, let's try a different method. Let's try using frequencies while trying to communicate with them. Let's experiment. It's all about finding the boundaries, discovering new ways of being able to see them, detect them, sense them. It's all about, you've got to be open to be able to push the boundaries to find, the spiritual side, the scientific side. You need all elements and aspects to create the whole picture.
Right. And that's true. We have Alex Smith there. He's from the UK. Well, I don't know. Have you seen his photos? Oh my God, they're awesome. You need to follow him and see his photos if you haven't. But he says, if we die and become spirits, I think perhaps they will be in the same dimension of the other intelligent entities. But if the entities have technology to come into our dimensions and other dimensions easily, where else? Let's see, the spirits can maybe dip back into this dimension briefly at times, depending on the certain conditions. Just a theory, he's saying. So, I guess he's just barely starting to watch what we talked about earlier. And it's a possibility, right? It could be happening that way, right?
Yep. On that quote, always trust your peripheral vision. That's right. Yeah. You often see things moving in your corner of your eyes. Trust it, because I guarantee it's going to be something to do with them. They move quickly.
Yeah. So Adibal says, one more question. He says, you may want to ask Karen about the white van. Okay, what's happening with the white van?
White van? I don't remember what that is. White van.
Somebody
You might have to remind me, Annabelle.
Somebody must have been following you or something.
I've had that.
Have you ever felt like, because of what you're doing, people are kind of maybe, Big Brother kind of looking at you a different way or something?
Yeah. Yeah. You find you get yourself shadow banned a lot. I've been followed, There's always that sense that something you're feeling like you're watched. They know. Everyone knows.
Yeah. Well, and it's like in the middle of our podcast, sometimes it just dies or glitches or whatever, or I had one where
your phone where I'm on my phone and you hear a click noise, and then it's like it's almost like alien voices in the background. It's really weird. I've had that a few times.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of checking out what you're doing. But me personally, I don't think that. I can't say this for sure, but I don't think they put you in the ground anymore for talking about aliens. I just think that, because there's so much of it out there, and, there's thousands of podcasts now, talking about extraterrestrials, just like this one. And, what are they going to do? It's just, it doesn't make any sense, right? Now NASA's getting involved. Now all these big old industries are getting involved. Disclosure. They want to know. We want to know, but yet they're blacking out everything on Mars and everything. We want to know. Yeah, okay. Listen, I just think it's a formality that they're doing because they just want to say, let's just hypothesize this just for a second. What if somebody has more photos or videos from NASA and it says NASA on it, and it's blacked out, and they have both versions. So that way they can say, we don't know anything about this. We just started doing this ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they're covering themselves with that blanket, as far as like, of what's happening out there. You can't cover it up anymore. It's they're building stronger telescopes here on the ground that you as a civilian can buy, and you see these things.
Yeah, technology is a lot better now. It's harder to hide that kind of thing. I mean, obviously, I don't think they'll ever disclose everything. I don't know if they can. So I think it's down to the people, to gather the evidence. I don't think not everyone's going to believe. There's always going to be those who question, doubt, and that's fine. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. It's what makes it beautiful. We can have these debates and discussions. Right. But yeah, I think that's what we need to do: get together and share our information.
Exactly.
Help one another.
And that's what we try to do here with Alien Strand Podcast. But let's go ahead. We're already coming to the end of our show. We went a little lengthy, but it's okay. It was a great conversation. Is there anything that you would like to tell anybody out there, in audio and video land?
Yeah, I mean, we have some great groups on Facebook. Feel free to, if you've had any experiences, if you want to join the groups, we're here to help. Great team, me, Laurie, Annabelle, Jody, and many, many more. So great team. We can help wherever we can.
And which groups are those?
So you've got the CE4, you've got the frequencies. We've got a new group that's just come out. So yeah, there's quite a few. I can send you the links so you can share them for people.
Yeah, please. Yeah, so everything that we're doing here today, there's going to be a bunch of links on the audio podcast and on the video as well. So just if you can send those to me, and I'll link them all up there so people can find you and they can talk to you as well. Now, do you have like one-on-one discussions with people as well? That are going through something?
Oh yeah, I mean, the people are more than welcome to message me on Messenger, if they don't want to speak on a group. So you can find me on Facebook under Karen Pratt. But yeah, I'm there to help anyone who's in need.
Good. Well, thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for reaching out to me today. Last week, because I thought it was important for you to get on. And I know we have 2 different time zones. It's probably pretty late over there already in the UK. But, you sacrificed your little bit of time so you can come on here and tell people the story. And
it's nearly the weekend. It's fine. Thank you for having me and for everything that you do. All of you, everyone, amazing group of people.
Yes, it is. And we love what we do, and we love to help folks out there, just like you and just like what you're doing today. So again, thank you for being on the show today. And everybody out there is just watching today, and they thank you for doing what you're doing, Karen. And, it's hard to do it sometimes, but I think you have to, in order to get it off your chest a little bit. You'll feel a little bit better. You'll sleep a little bit better too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't really talk to people about these things that happen to, I'll speak on Messenger, I'll help other people, but you kind of don't really think about yourself too much and what you go through and what's happening. So yeah, no, it's good to talk.
Yes, good to talk. All right. So if you can just stay on, but I'm going to pull you off here in just a second. But thank you for being on the show today. Like I said, everybody just enjoyed all your content and everything that you had to say. They're praising you all over these. You'll be able to play it back when you do. But anyway, thank you so much for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All righty. We'll catch you here in a bit. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast today. Like I did, it was awesome. I know it was kind of early for folks, but it's 5 o'clock here, is 11 o'clock over there in the UK. So, we try to make it to where we're not getting in, at 12 or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, because, people got to sleep. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for everybody chiming in on the show. I really enjoyed doing this and giving you guys disclosure. This is part of disclosure, because she's telling her story of what she saw. Not just that, she's got the video proof. She's got the photo proof. She's got everything that we showed today. And, if you're hearing this podcast, we're going to be on 26, 27 platforms. Ask Alexa. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google. We're on iPhone app. If you got a podcast on your iPhone, we'll be on there. Ask Alexa. She'll play Alien Strand, Now we were live on 8 platforms today. Thank you guys for hearing us ramble a little bit today. Actually me, not her, but she did an amazing job. And I hope you guys got some information and some insights. And if you want to contact her, I will definitely put links to her thing so you can get a hold of her, and then you can talk to her one-on-one, because I think that's a good idea, for folks when they come on the show, to talk to the folks one-on-one. Like she said, sometimes you don't want to be on a public group and talk about it. It's best to go one-on-one, and she'll be glad to help you guys out, as well as we do at Alien Strand Disclosure Project. So don't forget to catch us there on Alien Strand Disclosure Project. If you ever want to join us, please go to ASDPUFO-.com or go to alienstrand.com, our sister page, and you can jump over to page if you want to be a representative of Alien Strand Disclosure Project. And you know what? Like I said before, on our page, what we do is we get information of sightings, things like that. We get reports, and then we post them on our website. So that way you get people out there can get all the new stuff that's happening out there today as an actual report. Okay. So, you can always, we have an app now for it. You don't have to write nothing down anymore. It's so simple. You do the report, send it to me. Bam, I get it. I make a report. So anyway, thank you guys for watching the show today. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the comments, everything. Please share this podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, X, anything, hit us a like, subscribe. Just keep on, because, next week on Wednesday, I will have another podcast. I'm going to have another gentleman on. He actually got abducted a few times there in Alaska. So he has, and it's intense, man. So you guys really got to hear his story. So check that out next Wednesday. Watch that when it comes out, and I'll throw out the flyers, okay? Until then, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening.
Midnight at the Oasis. Send your camel to bed. Shadows painting our faces. Traces of romance in our hands. Heaven's holding a half moon, shining just for us. Let's slip off to a sand dune real soon. Kick up a little down.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.